There's definitely, I think, looking at, I mean, emotion is quite a, I think it's a very broad thing, but there's probably, because what I'm looking into, I've quite a strong area of study that is relevant to my PhD is the difference between kind of mood and emotion, because emotions are generally quite transient, so they come and they go reasonably quickly, and it's all based on moments, which, and as you said, kind of that the falling in love, that moment, it's quite a short-lived thing, and yet mood is something that's slightly, you know, kind of underlying. You can't exactly say that a mood, you're not. Being angry isn't a mood. Being angry is kind of something slightly more transient. You can feel sort of annoyed, or you can feel uneasy, or you can feel sort of a sense of I don't know, sense of dread or something. That's more than a mood. That's, you know, and then but maybe something specific happens that makes you kind of startled or annoyed, or whatever happens to be. That's kind of more a transient thing. So maybe there's a difference between that sort of initial kind of falling in love with somebody, that sort of that very powerful initial reaction that sort of lasts for quite maybe a short period of time, but then it kind of evolves and develops into something more mature. So so maybe that's kind of a narrative of the emotion itself. So rather than not necessarily narrative of you meet somebody and then this happens and you do this and you go on a date, it's kind of not that kind of narrative. It's the narrative of the emotion, how that changes over time. So maybe that's something to explore, perhaps. How, I mean, and there's the sort of the chemical reactions that happen. Exactly. You know, that's psychophysiological thing that goes on, and the because the other thing with love, I mean, a lot of people say that love is it's sort of an Americanized thing. It's something that never really, it's sort of love has only really been around as we think of it for the last 100 years or something, and actually love always used to be more of something that was necessary. People needed to be together to have families, to have kids, and they could sort of look after them in their old age or whatever. And it was much more about survival. Yet love now is much more of a, does it have the same meaning now that it used to? And is love something now that we think it's got to be this wonderful, emotional, sort of romantic, awe-inspiring thing that must last forever, and when that me feeling goes, I'm not in love with that person. but it's something that, is it something that kind of goes through stages and develops and evolves as you get to know somebody. And so I mean, infatuation, I mean, I'd say love and infatuation definitely two different things. Because you can probably be infatuated with somebody and actually quite dislike them in the long run.